Good morning, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to Weather HQ on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Today's headlines. The low-pressure area inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility has developed into a tropical depression named Julian. PAGASA says it is also monitoring two more weather disturbances outside the PAR. We'll get more details from PAGASA later on in the show. Storm surge warnings are in place for Florida's west coast as Hurricane Helene is expected to hit Tallahassee in Category 4 level. And a group promoting the use of electric vehicles in the country is upbeat about the prospects in the industry. I'll talk to the president of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. Another tropical cyclone is inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility. The low-pressure area that PAGASA is monitoring has developed into a tropical depression and given the local name Julian. It is the 10th tropical cyclone this 2024 and our 6th tropical cyclone for the month of September. As you can see here, the track of Julian in the north of the Philippines going a bit up here. As of 4 a.m. today, the center of the tropical depression Julian was estimated at 525 kilometers east of Itbayat, Batanes, with maximum sustained winds of 55 kilometers an hour and gustiness of up to 70 kilometers per hour. It is moving south-southwestward at 15 kilometers per hour. With the tropical depression Julian will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in Ilocos Norte, Apayao, Batanes, Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands and Isabela. Now, residents of these areas are advised to watch out for possible flash floods or landslides due to moderate to at times heavy rains here in Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Now, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms are expected to prevail in those areas. Possible flash floods or landslides may also happen due to the severe localized thunderstorms. Now, aside from tropical depression Julian, PAGASA is monitoring two weather disturbances outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility. To get more details, we have on the phone with us PAGASA Weather Specialist Glyza Escolar. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Magandang umaga sa iyo, Paolo. Yes, gaya ng iyong nabanggit, meron pa tayong dalawang sama ng panahon na minomonitor ang bagyong si Maroon, ngunit ito ay hindi na inaasang papasok ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Samantala, meron din po tayong minomonitor na isa pang sama ng panahon o tropical depression sa silangan naman ng Central Luzon. Huling namataan 2,600 km east ng Central Luzon, taglay ang lakas na hangin na 55 km per hour malapit sa gitna at pagbugso na umaabot hanggang 70 km per hour. Inaasahang kikilos po ito north-northwestward sa bilis na 15 km per hour. Ang bagyong ito ay hindi na rin o mababa ang tsansa na pumasok din ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Gaya nga ng nabanggit mo, Paolo, ang nakaka-apekto o maaaring maka-apekto sa atin ngayon ay itong bagyong Julian na nabuo sa silangang karagatan po ng Batanes.
Ms. Glyza, nakita po natin, balik muna tayo kay Tropical Depression Julian. Will it recurve and move northwards? Kasi nakita natin yung track ngayon na baka umiba yung direksyon ng Tropical Depression Julian at maapektuhan ba to ng southwest monsoon?
Yes po. Paolo, bale ang nakikita nating scenario dito ay bababa palapit po dito sa silangang bahagi ng Northern Luzon at maaaring lumapit pa ng konti dito sa may Cagayan, Isabela area at dito po sa mga isla ng Babuyan at Batanes Island hanggang bago po ito makalabas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. At may chance itong maging typhoon category sa loob ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Sa ngayon po, ang inaasahang areas na uulanin ay itong Northern Luzon area, ngunit inaasahan po natin na pwede pa rin mainasa ang habagat pero dahil pa transition period na po tayo, ang ulan ay hindi na ganon kasing lakas nitong napag-iba yung habagat ng mga nagdaang bagyo kagaya po ng Ferdy, Karina at Enteng.
Maraming salamat po. That was Ms. Glyza Escolar ng PAGASA. Thank you very much for joining us. Now we're going to move on and take a look at the weather conditions in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Starting off first with Luzon. As we mentioned a while ago, because of the tropical depression Julian in the northern region, this part of the country will experience cloudy skies with isolated rain showers, particularly in Tuguegarao and in Lawag in particular, while general fair weather conditions with a low chance of rain will be there in Olongapo and in Tagaytay, as you can see right over here. Now, that will also be the same in Metro Manila, Puerto Princesa, and Legazpi. These areas will have a maximum temperature that may reach up to 34 degrees Celsius in the region. Now, moving on further down south in Visayas, let's take a look at Bacolod, Iloilo, Metro Cebu, and Tacloban. Current weather conditions are expected to remain favorable in the region, especially this morning, but in the afternoon, residents are expected to prepare for rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. As we see all over the region here, 32 degrees Celsius is the maximum, was high in terms of temperature all across the region. So for everyone in the Visayas area to watch out for that. Let's move further down south. Let's go to Mindanao. Cagayan de Oro and Zamboanga, weather conditions are expected to remain favorable all day as we take a look at this here. And of course, we'll get to zoom in on that later on. But first, let's take a look at Davao City because they have to prepare for a 70% chance of rain in the afternoon. So make sure that you stay updated on local weather forecasts and be prepared for possible changes in weather conditions. As we promised a while ago, we're going to zoom in into certain areas. Let's check out the 3-day weather condition in Manila. Now, to check if you'll enjoy your payday weekend, let's take a look at the weather from PAGASA. 33 degrees Celsius is going to be the high from Saturday all the way to Monday in Metro Manila. So do prepare for that. Generally fair weather conditions are expected for the next 3 days with a low chance of rain in the weekend. But come Monday, by the way, PAGASA says that there will be a 70% chance of rain. So prepare your rain gear for the weekend in preparation for a potentially wet work week. Now let's go on to Metro Cebu. In the Queen City of the South, weather conditions are expected to remain favorable until Monday, just like in Manila. Temperatures for the next 3 days are quite high, 32 degrees over on Saturday, and then all the way up to Monday, you can expect a high of 33 degrees Celsius. Of course, that's going to be something to watch out for. Make sure that you stay hydrated, stay healthy, and that you stay away from the sun if that's not quite your speed. Moving on to Metro Davao, same weather conditions again until Monday. Expect hot weather wherever you go. It may be a good idea to bring extra clothes, maybe a towel. Temperatures will go up to around 34 degrees Celsius, especially on Saturday, right over here. Watch out for that. That's going to be a hot day. It'll be a bit cooler on Sunday and on Monday, but at 33 degrees Celsius, it will still be quite a humid and hot day. So watch out for that and make sure you stay hydrated and fresh throughout the day. Now, when we return, we'll talk about the prospects of electric vehicles here in the country. Stay tuned. You're watching Weather HQ. Welcome back. You're still watching Weather HQ. I'm Paolo del Rosario. The use of electric vehicles is seen as one way to reduce carbon emissions and promote environmental protection. Now, how optimistic, though, are the stakeholders of the industry on its growth here in the country? Joining us via Zoom is the President of Electric Vehicles Association of the Philippines, Enbund Araga. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Paolo, and to all the televiewers.
All right, sir, let's focus first on the actual share of the market with regards to e-vehicles here in the country. Just how fast are we adopting this innovation? Of course, there's still a lot of challenges with regards to the accessibility of it and, of course, sustainability of it. Just how much has this market developed in the country?
Okay, thanks for asking. You know, Paolo, during the time that we started this way back 2010, we have a very slow impact in the market, and that mostly that we provide that you can be seen on the road is only on the e-jeeps and e-trikes. Now, based on the LTO reports, from 2014 to 2021, there were only about more than 300 electric cars that is available in the market, out of which most of the numbers of vehicles are on the e-trikes and two-wheel sectors. But come with the report of the 2022 and 2023, we went up to more than by thousands. Like we're talking of more than 10,602 for the 2023 reports. No, this is combined between HEV, PHEV, BEV, and that is also with the commercial vehicles. So
Well,
now with this, the one that is on the screen is a report from the LTO based on LTO Operations Division that is highlighting on the categories of cars, SUV, UVs, trucks, bus, and motorcycles combined. No, that's around roughly estimate of 8,000 plus for 2023 alone. There's a big jump of number of vehicles that is monitored and registered under LTO. But we haven't checked on others that is not registered.
Yeah. Sir Edmond, we are looking at what EVAP is doing. Of course, your mission is to educate, accelerate, and of course, make partnerships with regards to the adoption of electric vehicles. Right now, can you tell us a bit more about, of course, nandiyan yung mga cost, and then, of course, the lack of charging stations. The government has made steps to address that moving forward. Just how happy are you, or how optimistic are you with regards to, one, the cost becoming more affordable as time goes by, and of course, the number of charging stations coming in the future for those who will be adopting electric vehicles?
Okay, Paolo, we've lobbied for the regulations and standards for a decade before the approval of EVIDA, or Electric Vehicle Industry Development Act. In that we are part of the technical working group. We are behind on those setting this thing up for us to proliferate and establish the industry itself. And that we are happy that the private sector, the private stakeholders, and the government are working towards on this direction, and that we were able to pull through and establish these regulations and standards. Now, we are protected, as I can say with the consumers, that there are bases for the investors and the consumers to be protected, especially raising concerns on safety. And that we would like to emphasize that this is what we are trying to prove, that if you're going to make a switch or shift into electric, we have a basis that it would go well and would be protected to the consumers. So right now, um, it's getting better because it states on the EVIDA law that of at least 5 to 10% of fleet from purchases from government and private stakeholders should be electric.
Yeah.
And that most of, if you're not aware of it, 70% of the procurement in national market, Philippine market, is coming from the government sector. So imagine if we just get the 10% of the 70% of the procurement from the government, that goes well and better in establishing our targets for under the CREVI,
Yeah.
or Comprehensive Roadmap Electric Vehicle Industry Act.
Well, sir, you mentioned that the government obviously coming in to help out with regards to the procurement of electric vehicles, and I'm also assuming making it more accessible in terms of infrastructure with regards to electric vehicles. There's a summit happening next month, the 12th Electric Vehicle Summit. What future plans can we expect to be showcased there? And of course, how can the private sector become a bigger factor with regards to this? And will that be a part of the summit in the 12th Electric Vehicle Summit?
Yeah, our team would be Spark Change, wherein we would like to emphasize that the time is now for you to switch to electric, because there is already in place of the infrastructure, not only on the e-vehicles that is available on the market. There are a lot of players right now, and that on the you would expect on the summit that there would be 2-day conference that we have prepared. The program is being set up with some of foreign resource speakers that we have invited over to come up and give us an update and some benchmarking in terms of the industry globally. And then in terms of the exhibit, you would find a lot of new launch products, especially on the electric vehicle segment. Not only on the charger suppliers that is new to the market, and but also on the components and parts that is capable enough to supply for the electric vehicle sector. And with that, we also would like to highlight and emphasize on our academe chapter that we would like to sustain and continuously working towards the industry, because what we are building right now is establishing the industry as per se, and the future of the industry is delves on the students
Yeah.
and the academic chapters.
Sir Edmund, how can you encourage more private buyers to actually buy electric vehicles or pick electric vehicles over the gas-powered ones, considering we saw a while ago the big gap between, or at least a big skew in terms of the ratio of those who adapt electric vehicles to those who do not? How would you encourage them to actually purchase electric vehicles moving forward?
One is establishment of gas, no? Meaning to say, comparison, we don't spend gas on especially on the EVs. Comparison of the cost that you have if you're going to make use of the combustion engines as to compare to electric vehicles. You would have a better benefits in terms of cost on a monthly, weekly, or a daily basis, and that it helps us not only on the environment but also on two items: noise and health concerns. During the pandemic, we were able to see the importance of no smoke at all, and you can see the blue skies
Yeah.
because there are no combustion engine that's running around, except for some electric vehicles that is being launched from left to right, from high-end vehicles that are being introduced in the Philippine market. And that right now, the fruits of labor are coming in because the Class A and B are the ones who accepted this in terms of e-cars, but on the Class C, D, and E, the proliferation of the small scooters, two wheels and three wheels, are seen as a viable personal mobility of their as a mode of transportation.
Sir, thank you very much for joining us and giving us an update on the electric vehicle market. That was Electric Vehicles Association of the Philippines President Edmund Araga. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Sir Paolo.
Right, up next is the global weather. Keep it here. You're watching Weather HQ. Now look at the weather around the world. Let's go to Mexico. Meteorologists have upgraded Tropical Storm John to a Category 1 hurricane from a tropical storm Thursday morning. Now, towards the evening, it is expected to gain more strength and could peak at a Category 2 strength before hitting Mexico's landmass, as we can see right over here. Hurricane conditions are expected from Tecpan de Galeana to Punta San Telmo. And according to the National Hurricane Center, the storm is expected to bring an additional 10 to 20 inches of rain across the Mexican states of Guerrero, Oaxaca, coastal Chiapas, and coastal Michoacan. The heavy rainfall will likely produce catastrophic, life-threatening flash floods and mudslides along the 4 states on Mexico's coast. Once it hits a landmass, it will weaken quickly into a depression by nightfall. Now over in the U.S., currently as a Category 3 Hurricane Helene has a maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour and moves northeast at 16 miles an hour, as you can see here, climbing off from Tallahassee going up to Georgia. It is expected to hit Tallahassee as a Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained wind speeds of up to 156 miles per hour. Now, storm surge warnings are in place for Florida's west coast, where surging waters could reach as high as 20 feet. The Florida Highway Patrol closed the Skyway and Howard Franklin bridges, 2 major routes in Tampa, as massive waves hit the structures. The National Hurricane Center has issued a life-threatening situation warning, and residents in these areas should take all necessary actions to protect life and property from rising water and other dangerous conditions. A state of emergency has been declared in 61 of Florida's 67 counties, and several are under evacuation orders. And that's it for Weather HQ today. We'll see you again on Monday, whatever the weather. I'm Paolo del Rosario here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Always on top.